What's going on, y'all? Welcome
Oh,
back to another episode of Squad Talk, episode 64, man. Last time, well, first I'm gonna change it up a little bit, man. I'm Seek Paris, is my co-host over here.
white tees.
And then our special guest, man. Last time he was here is Juice Baby, Dejon Brown from Juice Baby Apparel. This time we talking to the author. Man, would you introduce yourself to the people for us?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? My name is Dejon Brown. I am the owner of Juice Baby Apparel, and I'm also a first-time author with my
Yeah, man.
children's book, Juice Baby Goes to Kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yo, that's amazing. Amazing accomplishment. But before we get into this interview, got to pay them bills first. We the smallest in the game with the biggest guest to do it.
Period.
I like
So
that.
before we get started, man, I got to shout out. We got a sponsor, Vinyl Supply Unlimited, authorized Caesar dealer, the only Metamark. They sell the only Metamark decal vinyl in the country. Get with Vinyl Supply Unlimited. Put in
Squad Creative.
10. You get a 10% discount off your order. Free shipping over $50.
Once again, head on over to vinylsupplyunlimited.com for all your crafting needs.
Welcome back, man. So I'm gonna jump into it, Dejon. Can you just give us a little bit of the history? I mean, not the history, but the motivation behind Juice Baby Goes to Kindergarten.
Yeah, really, it's loosely also based off the same thing the clothing brand is. Juice Baby, my 10-year-old son. Very bright kid. I love him to death, man. I do have 4 kids in total. But Juice Baby was kind of like, it was a name I gave him when he was 1 year old. It kind of just stuck with him. So when I was, thinking about a name for my brand, Juice Baby kind of stuck out. And, I wanted to run with that. But it also had a bigger purpose. I wanted to teach him about, owning your own and being something. So that kind of rolled into branching off and writing my first children book, which was Juice Baby Goes to Kindergarten. And it was just something that I thought it'd be cool to do, to show him just how important reading is and how, even writing a book, how much of an impact it can have on the people around you because, everybody read, and with kids, man, he love it because now everybody know him at Juice Baby at school. He got teachers coming up, taking pictures and asking for copies of the book. And, it just kind of gives him that little extra boost. It's kind of like showing him like, hey, man, I can sit here and tell you about this or tell you what to do, or I can show you. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just showing him. So,
Hell yeah. So, man, like, is he feeling like a star? Or I know it feels good, but is he star status? Is he feeling that way?
A lot of times it's hard to tell because like my son, like he got a laid back, cool personality. Like he don't overreact to certain things. So I think he the type that's like, if they don't like show him all that love from the book, it don't bother him because he don't really like to be in the spotlight. But I think this is starting to kind of force him to actually be used to it because people are coming up to him. Like I have teachers that I don't even know. It just be teachers from other great age groups that'll come up to me and, oh, I heard you wrote a book and I was telling your son we need a copy and I want to read it to my class, or they want him to come and read it. So it's kind of getting him attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it came to writing that book, how long of a process do you think it was?
From start to finish, as far as publishing, the whole process. I say it was probably about a 6-month journey. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of procrastinated in the beginning a little bit because I was still in that stage of, hey, I would love to do this, but how do I do it? So like I know for a fact the first month or 2, it took me just researching how to go about putting together a book. As far as writing a book itself for children, man, it's probably the easiest thing you could write in the world. you know, because you already got set guidelines that kids appeal to. You know, you get a book that's rhyming. It's all about the illustration. You want to make sure for the kids that can't read your book word for word, they can at least read your book by your pictures and tell, hey, well, I don't know what it's saying, but I do know that they fussing over that notebook, you know. So other than that, though, it took me about 6 months from the time I started till I got my first copy.
So you said you researched, like, what type of stuff did you look for specifically in how to write a book, and what helped?
Pretty much like I'll go YouTube and I search, you know, new authors, and they'll outline pretty much how they steps went or the routes that they took. From there, my main thing that I researched was I decided to go self-publishing. So I wanted to research the whole process of self-publishing, which YouTube is a very big help for that. Nowadays, you know, YouTube running everything. You know, you can type in some random stuff and you will get a video as close to that you can get, you know. So like with YouTube, it was kind of easier because you had authors that had first-time books that published through Amazon. So they was able to give you the whole rundown of the process, kind of, you know, like send you in the right direction.
Right. I've always had a dream of writing a book, man. So that question was more for me than anybody.
Right.
You know. So in your writing process, man, what type of things, like quirks or any different thing you have as far as setting up to write your story out?
Well, my idea from the start was I already knew I wanted to do a series. But I knew I wanted to start it off with something like him going to school. So I did jot down a few different ideas. It was going to be Juice Baby goes to school, Juice Baby goes to kindergarten. So I figured since I wanted to do a series, I'm gonna start him with kindergarten, and I'm gonna take him all the way up to 5th grade, to middle school, high school, even college. And that's all I'm doing. This is just the first step of what I'm really trying to do with Juice Baby book series. I want to more like send it in a direction to where it appeals more to the urban youth. You know what I'm saying? In ways that they can relate to it, and then take it and flip it and show them other options based on that environment that they're already used to. The whole overall thing is Juice Baby Adventures. So it's going to branch off into different things about Black history, Black inventors that you don't hear about or see, you know, things other than what you hear at school, the watered down truth and things of that nature. It's just something that really appeals to the urban kids. So once I knew how I wanted to go with it and lined it up how I wanted to do it, it made my writing process so much easier.
So all right, so you about to write, you get that urge to write. Like, what is your thing, man? Do you need a drink, or do you need silence, or you know what I mean? What's your writing process look like?
Yeah, well, I'm always at my desk. I have my garage set up, and it's everything that I like to do. You know, I got my speakers down here. I have a TV mounted on the wall. I'm a big video gamer, you know. So I might hop on, play my little video game. But other than that, man, I'm always working. So I'm always jotting down ideas. When I get into my writing process, I have to have it quiet. I have to have it quiet, and it just kind of helps me get in a mind space to where I can figure out the ways I want to do stuff. I'm always moving around. I always got my kids around me, so I'm always in like a noisy environment to where it's hard for you to think sometimes. But you know, I close my door and get away from them for a second, and I actually be able to write and get it started.
So Juice Baby, you said you're gonna go like all the way through college. Once he gets to college, will Juice Baby ever grow up, or will college be the end of the series?
Nah, like I said, the whole thing is Juice Baby book series, but it's really based on like Juice Baby adventures. So it with that itself, it opens up a wide variety of different ways I can go with it. And what I know for the Juice Baby goes to kindergarten, that series I know I'm gonna run it to at least 5th grade.
Yeah, man.
And then I can start, I might start branching it off to different areas and different like things, because I really want to get it to where it's speaking on more of skills, things that'll get their mind churning, you know what I'm saying? Like things that'll get them thinking like, yo, I would like to be a barber, like things of that nature, but that's stuff that the urban kid can relate to. And but that's also a good skill, and it makes money. It makes good money if you market yourself right, and that's all it really takes. That's what I want the kids to understand. That's all it takes to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people now today, you got people that have absolutely no talent at all, but they can learn how to work a camera, or they can learn how to do anything. Like even with social media, TikTok, Facebook, all that, people can find a way to make that residual income.
Getting real money. Yeah.
Real money, man. Like now it used to be, oh, you got to go to college, you got to get this degree, you got to get into this career field. They can lay out how much you make per year from that career field. But the way it is now in the world that we living in, man, an average Joe that sits and plays video games 12 hours out of the day can make 6 figures.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so true.
That's crazy to think about, but real stuff, man. Real shit.
Yeah.
So, man, I didn't ask all these questions, man, brother, but I want to commend you, man, because just for some of the people that just stepped in or whatever, this is a whole new avenue because you started out with a clothing brand, and then to be able to write a book, man, and something that's gonna affect our youth in a positive way. That's gonna teach them, show them a different way of excuse me, a different way of hustling. You know what I mean? So, man, I want to commend you on that, brother.
Sorry about that.
I've always dreamed to be an author. I think I said that before, but that's always been one of my dreams that I've always put out. And like I told you off camera in school, they ask you what you want to be when you grow up, and I told them an author, like 4th grade. You know what I mean? Never written a book, so y'all gonna. I think Juice Baby is gonna be my motivation, man. Juice Baby this grown man grow up. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm inspired, man, right now. So
hey, I appreciate that, love, man. I appreciate that. That's all it's about, man. My good friend Sam, man. Sometimes he have to give me a kick in the behind, because anything you doing as business, man, you have your bad days where you get discouraged, where you feel like you haven't even did enough, or you know what I'm saying, like it really, you have to. And I was just speaking to Sam on that the other day. I was like, people not understanding, you got a hustle and you got a business. People not understanding when you decide to sit in that CEO seat, you got everything to lose. Everything. So every move that you make is very important to how, successful or how quick your brand starts scaling. And like I tell people a lot of times, excuse me. I tell people a lot of times, like when you actually start, when your brand or whatever you're doing with your business, when it starts scaling, you really don't see it. You don't see it. It be the people around you that see it before it happens. You got people that'll tell you, man, you on your way, man. I see it. But you don't see it because you always having to focus on the failures just as much as the good things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And like with the clothing brand, when you gonna take a lot of losses before you even really realize you won.
For sure.
That's so true.
For
your publishing, like how did you go about sourcing that Because I'm like completely clueless to the whole process. I know you said that it took you 6 months to write and to come up with in the final before you presented it. But as far as finding that publisher to push your book, how did you go about getting that?
Honestly, that is the easiest process. You got publishers online. It's like Amazon. You got Amazon. You got Ingram Sparks. You have different publishers that will allow you the option to self-publish and also allow you the option to have them sell your book to major bookstores and send it out to libraries. Like you have websites and companies like that that's actually helping you get your book in the right place. Like I said, it's all about the direction you choose to go, because when you do decide to take that route with somebody like Amazon, you more making pennies on the dollar than you would, just doing your orders through them and getting your own copies in and then moving your own copies out.
Right. So it's like, was it like uploading it to the site, or did you have to submit it to the publishers and then they did a final read and then?
Nah, the way it works is once you have your manuscript and you have that manuscript put down into a PDF that meets their requirements, because each one have a different requirement for if you want paperback or you want hardback. Once you meet those requirements, you can load it up. Like, let's say Amazon KDP, for instance. You can load it up to Amazon KDP and make it live on Amazon. And from there, you can start promoting it for people to go straight to Amazon and buy it. You also can choose to do, and I think with something like that, it's like 60% royalties for Amazon. So that's where the pennies on the dollar come in, because, depending on what your price range of your book is going to be, Amazon is going to get a majority of that profit off of it before you really even see a good profit. You'll really have to be selling 1,000 copies or 2,000 or 3,000 copies just to really see some money. But the option that they offer you is you could buy your own books at wholesale. See what I'm saying? And you got a really, really good wholesale price, to where if you order those books, let's say you get 50 copies in, you sell them $15 a piece. So now you have nothing but straight profit that you're making off of each copy you get out here and sell yourself.
So, and I assume you bought books yourself. Was Amazon an option for you, or did you use Amazon or any other site like that?
Yeah, I use Amazon. I use Amazon, and one thing I like about Amazon is, like I said, you could do an ebook. So you could do an ebook version of your actual book, and that opens up another option for people that like to use Kindle or that like to use tablets and actually be able to download those books and have it on the book instead of a physical copy. And you can still get royalties off of that. But if you trying to really see profit from your book and actually get out here and do the legwork yourself, it's so much more profitable to order your own copies in and then sell them off via your website, pop-up shops, book signings.
So go ahead, Mike.
You said that the ebook. I always want to know this. So when you do an ebook, are you the one that's reading it, or did you hire somebody to read the book actually for you?
Actually, I don't.
Not all ebooks are.
Yeah, the ebook that I have is not narrative.
Okay,
it's not like a read along. But I do have a read along in the works that I will get somebody. I don't have, excuse me, I don't have the voice, or I don't feel like I have that popping out voice to suck the kids in when I read it. So that's something that I'm working on. That's something I would like to do now. I can get somebody to do it for me, but it's something that I want to do myself.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you though, like a friend of mine wrote a book and did that, the ebook, and then had somebody read it. He went on Fiverr, bro, and it came out dope.
Yeah, I love Fiverr.
Yeah,
I love Fiverr.
But see, Mike, like this is Dope Era, the book by Mr. Fab. It's just regular. It's just a book. You just got the book in your phone. I don't know what page it's on, but you just turn the page. It's just like having a regular book.
Yeah. Every time I thought an ebook, I always thought of somebody reading it and you just listening to it.
Those are something else. There's another name for those books, and it won't come to me right now. But
and I actually have one of those. Me and Sam was working on one of those, and it makes a bit different when it comes to children book too, because like we had a voice, and it kind of had like that eerie, funny voice, kind of like something you would hear on like a suspense book or something.
Hey, boys and girls.
Yeah, you need a bubbly voice for something.
Yeah, for sure. Audio book. Thank you, Kim. It's an
audio book.
That wouldn't come to me to save my life. Thank you. Boss said 7'5". What's up, sis? She said, good evening, squad. That's my sister. Man, I'm gonna stop right there, and we ain't called out nobody in this audience, so we gonna shout out some people.
Hey.
Shayna, if you are here, we owe you an apology. The time got put on there wrong. She was here an hour and something early.
Hey. Sorry about that.
Shandy Cheek. I want to say Shandy Creek every time I look at your name. I'm so sorry. Connie Hard, what's going on?
How you doing tonight, Connie?
That to this Creations, how you doing? Best Uni, what's going on? Taryn, what's happening?
Third Day Tease. That to this Creations.
Did I say? Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to ask. I couldn't remember if I said them. Mary Brown, how you doing? Rosetta Higgins, how you doing? Kim, how you doing? Marissa Dandridge, how you doing? Kim, I called her by her name, but the Educated Natural for the few that don't know her name. And again, Boss said 7'5". That's my sister. Dibs Designs, what's going on?
Appreciate y'all tapping in with us tonight.
Yeah, man, this one's a little different. We talking book. We talking to an author tonight, man. This brother guy has a clothing line, Juice Baby Apparel, as well. But we talking to the author, man. So let's get back to this interview, man. Like, so since writing this book, man, what's different for you versus being an author versus running a clothing brand? Like, what type of differences do you see between the two, and how has it affected your day-to-day life?
I think like with the clothing brand, I had a lot more adults coming up to me and knowing more about me and things of that nature. Like with what I'm having to get used to now is like I will actually have kids come up to me.
Yeah.
You know, and like, man, I read your book, or I like your book, and they'll start asking me like, is it about your son? And he's just now going to kindergarten. I was like, nah, he's actually 10, you know, but it's like where I'm from, you don't really hear about guys my age or guys that look like me, you know, because like I rock the dreads. I like to wear my hoodies, you know, I wear my beanies and stuff like that. And you know, the environment that I grew up in, you just don't really see guys doing this type of stuff. So, you know, to have kids come up to me now and feel inspired or feel like they met somebody that done something, it's a big blessing, because that's all I want to do. I want to be that example to them like I had growing up. You know, like back when I was growing up, we had like boys and girls clubs and people that actually took time to try to keep you on the right path. You know, you always had people that kind of stray you the wrong way, but you always had like, back then it was like the village was help raising the kids. So like, you know, you knew a lot of people and they wouldn't see you do something that can, you know, pretty much ruin your life. And I think kids really miss out on that now because you have more people trying to show you the wrong way than the right way. So it's always a blessing to have kids come up and talk to me and ask me about the book, because really that's what I do it for.
Yeah, man. And then, like, to add on to what you were just saying, like, a lot of these babies is being raised off the internet. Take his phone and go sit down somewhere.
Yep.
You don't go outside and play or nothing. You know what I mean? You tell them to go outside, they look at you crazy. You know what I mean? Like, versus when we was kids, man, we'll get a stick and a rock and have hella fun. You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, crazy,
and
man.
Playing ourselves for hours outside, no internet.
By yourself and all that.
I tell my son that, man. I tell him, I say, hey, you gotta put that tablet down, man. Go throw a rock or something. You know, I give you permission. Go throw a rock.
I'm telling you, man. Like, I remember, man, with taking popsicle sticks and making hydroplanes and putting them in the damn sewer and watching it rain, you know, just stuff like that, man.
Yeah, kids don't do that, man.
Around and,
go ahead.
I gotta just add this before that book I showed you. That's an ebook, and the other one is an audio book.
It's an audio book, yeah.
When you I gotta go back to this writing process. How do you know when the book is finished? Like, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, well, you pretty much know, like I like the style of rhyming, you know. Okay. So it's kind of like in steps anyway, from beginning to end. You'll pretty much know how you want to start it and how you want to end it. Really, it's just kind of like filling in the end, like in between the middle. But once you do that, like I said, everything that you write, if you're not able to do it yourself, and I will say Fiverr is a good option for that. You got people who specialize in doing book manuscripts. You know, if you're not to the point to where you can put it together yourself or even have the know-how, you can pay a few bucks and pay somebody to take what you already written, your ideas or how you wrote the book, and put it into the format that is needed to publish it. Like I said, I do children's books, so I have to do another step in finding a illustrator to actually illustrate my books. But it shouldn't be as hard if you're not doing a children's book, because now you don't have to worry about illustrations. You just worried about, you know, writing your whole book and getting it put into a manuscript that you can upload. And then from there, you're worrying about your cover.
Ghostwriters.
Yeah. You know, it's so many different options that people have, and like, you know, it's very easy to do it. People just gotta research, do that research, you know. A lot of everything you do, even with the clothing, a lot of everything you do, I'm a hands-on person. People can explain stuff to me all day, but until I see you do it and able to do it myself, I never learn it. So that's where YouTube is a big help for me, you know, because they're going to show you step by step how to do stuff, and they literally breaks it down from beginning to end.
I'm gonna have to look into it, man. I need to write. I got so many stories I've started, like in my phone, in my computer, written in notebooks around the house. Like, I'm gonna get it done, man. I love to write. It's just hard to keep going. And my sister said, "Them kids don't know nothing about outside until you until you better be here before them street lights come on." Period. Period.
Yeah. I know my kids don't. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I can buy them a trampoline, man. I promise they probably only jumped on it twice. It's tablets and video games.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I want to ask about the process of picking your illustrator. How was that?
That's one of those moments where it kind of get frustrating, because people don't understand just how expensive it is for an illustrator. You know.
I'll say that for my next question. I'm sorry.
it's expensive.
Ooh.
It's expensive. You know,
like how expensive? Can you give us a roundabout number?
Yeah. Illustrator, especially quality. You looking at, I think quotes I got, you looking at around 1,100, 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very expensive. But the truth be told, that's the hardest part of the process.
Yeah.
It's just like
come with
anything
mock-ups,
else.
Huh? Does that come with mock-ups and then you just pick one of them?
A lot of where it's other options. I mean, it's other factors in there that you know have an effect on that price. Like, you can have it to where the person that's doing your illustrators also formatting your book. You see what I'm saying? So the whole like you gotta understand everything is just taking words and turning it into a fully formed book. So that means from your words to your illustration, everything has to match up. So by the time you get the final manuscript, it should literally look like the book from front to back.
Yeah.
And then when you upload it to Amazon KDP or whoever you decide to go with, Ingram Spark, once they read that file, they're gonna put it together as a book.
Mm-hmm.
So that has a factor on the price too. It is ways to find cheaper. It's ways to find cheaper and pretty good quality illustrators, but that's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack.
So, Educated Natural said, yes, it is expensive, and editors can be expensive too. Did you use any editors in your process, or you just did what you did?
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend using an editor. Even if you think everything is right, it's always great to have a second pair of eyes, you know, to look over somebody that's equipped to find discrepancies in your you know, your punctuation and things of that nature. Just having that second eye, you can never go wrong with that.
Right.
That's a second process. That's the publishing and the editor. So that's
second step. Third step.
Third step. That's another.
Yeah, you can.
Your first step.
That'll be the step before the editing will actually come before the illustration. Well, in my process, because my illustrator is also the person that puts my book together and format it. So as soon as I get it back from my illustrator, I can go straight to my platform and upload it, and my job is done. So my editing comes in the process after I get my first manuscript of the book after it's written. I have an editor look over it. She'll tell me, hey, she'll take out words that's not really needed and still keep the flow of the book. Once she give me the okay and say, hey, everything's good, punctuation good, everything is great, it goes straight to my illustrator. From there, once I get it back from there, I'll get a final copy.
Yeah, man. So do you happen to have a copy of the book near you?
Yeah, I do.
Can you read it? Please show it, and then can you read a couple pages so we can get the little taste?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna read the blurb on the back for you if you don't mind.
That'll work.
It say, Juice Baby is nervous to start his very first day of kindergarten. After he becomes shy and mom suddenly leave, he just know his day will be awful. Not until he meets a friend, James. From learning how to write and singing happy songs, Juice Baby quickly realizes that kindergarten isn't so bad after all.
Yeah,
so,
man.
That right there is the beginning. That is my 10-year-old son. I wish I had a picture to show you. But in there, you got your dedication, and that is for all my kids, letting them know, just a little message, letting them know that you could pretty much be anything you want to be. You know, just put your best effort forth in the world to take care of the rest of you. You know, this right here, this first page, that is my little girl, and that's my other son. That's my other son. So I incorporated all my kids in the book. So I read a few pages from the book just to show you the flow of the book.
Okay, right on.
It's my name is Juice Baby, and I was just starting kindergarten, and it was my very first day. And my little sister Vaya and brother Javian were beside me as we headed on our way.
Wow.
I was worried about starting school. I didn't know what to expect, but I hope I got to make art my favorite subject.
Man, them illustrations are nice,
Yeah,
man.
they nice, man. When
From
we
the side.
arrived, there were
Oh.
so many kids, I started to feel shy, but luckily I had my mom with me who was standing close by. And that is my fiance. That is his
Well,
mom.
that's the whole
Yeah,
family.
Wow.
yeah. And it was just something, just to kind of inspire the kids. I know it's a lot of kids. Like my youngest son is actually in kindergarten. So it's kind of dope for him too, because he pretty much been in daycare and school since he was 1. So he used to being around other kids and learning. But this right here was kind of like his introduction to big boy school.
Yeah, for sure.
So but yeah, man, the book I love the illustrations. So that's what I'm saying. When you looking for that quality, and this is actually what your manuscript would look like. So it would look side by side, just like this. So when they looking, they would know that, hey, this page goes with this illustration.
Shandy Creek said the colors are vibrant.
Thank you. Yeah. So
Educated Natural said, Dejon, here's some advice. Make sure you check in the copyright in your book with the Library of Congress and get your ISBN numbers for each version of your book. Protect your work.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. I do copyright everything I do. Now I'm glad she said that, because that's one thing you have to know when it comes to doing books too, is you do have what is called an ISBN, and it's kind of like that UPC. But when you publish through somebody like Amazon, they give you the option to get a free one from them, which is basically just good for selling it on Amazon. But in order to really get your book into other bookstores and the libraries and things of that nation, you need your very own ISBN. And that I know that is one thing you gotta have, is your own ISBN. You want that anyways, because it's kind of like an identity to your book. So yeah.
Shandy Cheek. I always want to say Creek. I don't know why. Shandy Cheek says, how does his kids feel about being in a book? Do they feel like superstars? I asked him that same question off camera.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. My kids are real, like, it takes a lot to excite them, man. I get more excited than they do. I think to them, it just like, they like, okay, cool. They love the book. They talk about it all the time. They talk about how they friends talk about it and stuff. But to them, I've already been doing it with the clothing and stuff. So I kind of been putting them out there already. So with the book, it's kind of like they used to it now. I guess they know what's to come. So they stoked. My 10-year-old, he always come and talk about how people say, hey, I want the book. Or he said a couple kids keep going to the library trying to see if my book has made it in the library and stuff. So I mean, he's starting to really see the benefits of being in a book.
That's dope. Are you in the book?
No. Nah.
Everybody but you, huh?
Yeah, except for yourself.
Yeah. Well, like, that's my thing. I plan everything. You know what I'm saying? And some things I kind of feel like I can give everything at one time, and then they won't look forward to anything else. Or I can kind of hold some stuff back. I kind of feel like, honestly, I carry myself with a sense of value. You know what I'm saying? Like, I carry myself because I want people to know Juice Baby. I want to make Juice Baby a household name. I feel like until Juice Baby reaches that level, my story is just another story. That's kind of like you take somebody like Master P, right? All the stuff that he's done, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know everything he do. Some stuff he's holding back from you. But when you actually sit down and he release a story and tell you his story and you lock in and you like, yo,
story too.
Like people, like when he did his documentary, man, I can't lie, man. People do not give that man the credit that he deserves. Those are the type of CEOs and moguls that we should look up to.
Right.
And that's not what the kids are looking up to, man. But that right there, that man, I'm 32 years old. When I watched that video, that documentary with Master P, man, it made me sit down and be like, yo, what?
Yeah.
This man is giving you the blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I watched that documentary and I said the same thing to my wife. Like, he don't get the credit he deserves, man. That dude.
He don't, man. And it's sad. A lot of people don't get it until they die, man. It's just like Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
You know?
Another one.
That's like Nipsey Hussle. But, you know, I try to teach my kids, and I want to teach a lot of the other youth. You know, a lot of the times, those are the type of things that discourage you on your journey on whatever you decide to do. It's the fact that you feel like you don't get the credit you deserve.
You know? Man, who you telling, man? I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Let me read a few of these comments. Shandy Cheek, how do it feel about being in a book? I think we already answered that. Educated Natural said, right. Shandy said, okay, Seek, you can call me Creep, but only you.
I got it. I'm on it.
How you doing tonight?
That's hella funny,
though. Shandy, again, laugh out loud. That will make it less stressful for him at the Educated Natural.
And I'm going to get the cheek down. Left cheek, right cheek. I'm going to get it
down. Oh, wow. Hey, Dejon, you said you spent $1,100 on the publishing. I'm sorry, I keep getting my head wrapped around this. How much do you think in total you spent to create this book, to have this book out?
I think roughly around about maybe probably pushing $2 grand. Wow. But
bad of an investment though for
that's not, man, because like this
is process.
Yeah. You know, especially if you market it the right way and everything, man. Like this, I'm telling you, this is a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? For one, not to even make it about money, because it's never about money. You know what I'm saying? But this is a whole different ball game when you're talking kids to people. Because if it makes sense to them, especially when it comes to their kids, they don't hesitate to pull their wallet out. So it kind of sells itself. Like with the clothing brand, it's kind of like you're doing more work convincing people why you got the hottest style. Right. With the book, it's kind of like, how many authors do you know within your reach? You know, how many Black authors can you take your kids to actually meet in your hometown? Mm-hmm. And that right there itself is like, I had one guy that purchased the book from me, a good friend of mine. He called me and he said, I want to congratulate you on the book, bro. He said, but I ordered the book, but what I want to do is I want to bring my kids to meet you and have you sign the book. He said, because I want them to understand how important it is to do something like this. And he said that, you know, just for them to rub hands and touch a Black author, man, that's something that I would definitely like for them to see, or, you know, so like, that's really what it's about to me. It's not about the money, but yeah, it's still a good investment because, like I said, when you buy your own books and sell them, you're making a pretty good profit off of each book.
So with that, man, how have you merged Juice Baby Apparel along with the shirts? Is there, or with the book? I mean, I'm sorry. Have you merged the two, or are they two separate standalone businesses?
They two separate. I try not to even incorporate them together because they on two different avenues. Now that's where my mind works. I know that later on down the road, once both of them catch the traction, later on down the road, that's an opportunity for me to do a collab between both.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I get that to them now, it's kind of like I'm losing value on that opportunity. I got to build that value within both of them together. So when I decide to do a collab between Juice Baby book series, if it's doing a limited jacket, you know what I'm saying, leather varsity or something with the Juice Baby character on it, that's just building more value in the collection. So yeah, I kind of rather wait.
For sure. So I would like you have all the family in there and the characters already created. Can we in the future sometimes see stories from the rest of the family, or will it just always be the Juice Baby?
I think I mean I believe I'm gonna end up branching off and doing different characters. My real goal too is what I'm in the works of and I'm trying to put together. I want to put together a kids series.
Mm-hmm.
My overall goal is to get this turned into a cartoon. Regardless if that's being on YouTube or getting on a network, my goal is to turn it into a cartoon.
That would be hard.
Yeah,
I think characters, I can see it.
Yeah.
So, what would be your approach to doing a cartoon, or have you thought that far ahead as far as detail?
Yeah, but I've started. I've started brainstorming. Right now, I just been having ideas. Right now, my idea would basically be to do it based on the book. So, kind of like based off of the actual book. So if I would do it, I would do Juice Baby Goes to Kindergarten. And it might be something of me narrating and reading it to a group of kids. But as I'm reading it, you starting to see animated scenes of the actual book and stuff like that. Something that I could put on YouTube or that kids can read. Because that's where kids are going. That's where, if you want their attention, that's where you're going to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where you're going to get it. If kids will sit around and watch another kid play with toys, they'll watch you read that book and watch the cartoon character, because I mean it relates to them.
So I see that Master P is a big influence on this stuff you do. And the reason why I say that is because he did the same thing. If I'm not mistaken, a children's book led to a cartoon series as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, y'all. My internet and everything just keeps shutting.
There's no excuse, bro. There's no excuse, brother. No excuses, man. Telling people he can't be making excuses for that internet over there. I'd rather you make an excuse for this shivering camera.
Because I'm holding my phone. I'm on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I ain't gonna talk a lot about the apparel company, but since it keeps coming up in conversation, can you kind of break it down to the people, tell them a little bit about it, the history of the Juice Baby Apparel and that type of thing?
Well, how I even came about with Juice Baby Apparel, and I believe I told this story on the first time I was on. But basically, like I said, my environment, I was around a lot of my homeboys were like drug dealers and stuff, man. And I'm a deep thinker. Like I'm the type person that goes left when everybody else goes right. Like just because, you know what I'm saying? Like I just want to be different. But I used to sit around, and a lot of the times I would have my friends around, and it's like everybody's selling or doing the same exact thing. And I'm like, how do y'all expect us to come up that way? Or, how do y'all expect the dollars to flow between our community if we all doing the same thing? We're competing with each other. So I had kind of like started, I was thinking, I was like, you know, my homeboys, they like to make their money, but then when they make their money, guess what they do? They go to the mall, they blow their money on clothes and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I want to sell snapbacks and jerseys. I said, all the hood boys love the jerseys, you know? So that's what I started doing. And then it started picking up. And I decided, well, man, I can start a clothing store. I started up a clothing store and we're doing pretty good, but all of this, in between all of this, I'm still working a 9-to-5, just like I do to this day. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I do as far as entrepreneur, I do it on my own time. So when I finish punching the clock, I come home and I punch my own clock. I know I have to do it that way because it's necessary for me to live. But at the same time, I just don't feel right putting more effort into somebody else than I would myself. But back to the clothing brand, I had started up a clothing store, man, and over having this clothing store and making money, I started realizing just how much out of the way people go for brands like Nike and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, I want to start my own brand. If I can make money selling somebody else's stuff, why not start my own? I'm already promoting it, promote my own, you know?
Right.
So I started Juice Baby, man. I started Juice Baby in 2018. And I started off, you know, just practically crafting. I ran into a trade and ended up with a silhouette. And, you know, it sat there for 6 months. I didn't know what it was. But then I started, you know, watching videos and learning about what it could do. And that's how I got into doing my own, you know, vinyl and stuff like that. My favorite vinyl was flock because before I got into embroidery, that was the closest thing you could get to like that embroider feel. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just love flock. It just does stuff, something, you know. But I linked up with Sam, man. I know y'all probably see him a lot. Sam, Isaac, and
shout out to Sam.
Yeah, shout out to Sam, man. He a vet in the game, and he got gems for days, and this man don't mind sharing them with you.
Right.
So I linked with him, and he the one that kind of showed me the difference between doing custom shirts and calling it a brand and actually creating a brand, because it is two totally different things. You know what I'm saying? It is, and on so many levels, because it depends.
Elaborate on that a little bit, please.
As far as how different it is.
Yeah.
The let's say, for instance, with crafting, like you have different you got so many different ways you can go with it. You can do custom. You can allow people to come in and say, hey, I want this picture. I want my shirt to say this, to say that. You know, honestly, you could do a custom Nike shirt, whatever you want to do. It opens up, it opens up money because people want this custom stuff. But then when you got a brand that nobody know anything about, you got to convince them to want it. You know what I'm saying? So you having to do a lot of marketing lead work because you're trying to push something that people absolutely knows nothing about. Like they have no interest in at all. And your job is to show them that, hey, like, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Every day I go to work, I don't care if it's a warehouse or anything, I got something to say Juice Baby on it.
Yeah.
But when I go in there, I don't go in there and say, hey, this is my clothing brand. I own Juice Baby. These are my clothes. I don't do that because people gonna give you some watered down generic answer like, oh, okay, I like that. I like to see real raw reaction. So what I do is I wear it every day until they start catching on and be like, yo, is that yours?
Yeah.
You wear it every day. Hey, how can I get that piece? I like that. I like that. And I still be like, oh, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is the more they see me and the more they see me wearing different stuff with that brand, the more they catch interest in it. Now they asking me, hey, yo, man, I done seen you wear this for 2 months straight, bro. Like this Juice Baby. How can I get it? How can I get it? You know what I'm saying? So now people are pretty much, and that's what I was saying earlier, like especially with the clothing brand, you don't always see your you don't see your progress the way you want to see it. It's the people around you or the people that see your brand every day. Those are the people that see your success coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You so focused on the other stuff that you have to deal with. But the difference between that is when you getting into the clothing brand, you got to worry about a lot more things. Like you want to make a coat from scratch, you got to worry about real material that you don't learn about. Just, you know what I'm saying? You things like that, like real material, how you don't want your real material to be a different color. Like this is a white, you know what I'm saying? You don't want the stitching to be black around. That stuff that actual fashion designers and people that's into that type of stuff, they can spot that from a mile away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like, that's the difference between having a real pair of Jordans and a fake pair of Jordans. No matter how much you try to duplicate it, somebody that know about the process of making these Jordans can spot the one thing that you forgot to do the same.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a very tedious process.
So I want to go back to the book, man.
Before we do that, can we take a commercial break real quick so I can adjust this?
What's up, guys? It's your boy Mike T, back at you with another video. And today we're going to be going over Vinyl Supply Unlimited, where they have a lot to choose from. You can get your matte decal, you can also get sublimation prints, color changing vinyl, different layerable glitters, and also fat head material. You heard me, fat head material. As you can see, my fat head is up there, which is completely removable. I could put it on the car, I could put it on the window, and then take it off and put it on the door and then maybe on the floor, you know, wherever it may be. But visit vinylsupplyunlimited.com today.
So yeah, I want to get into the book again, man. I'm sorry, somebody texted me asking me if squad tosses tonight. We are here. But I want to ask, I want to know hear about your process to marketing a book, because I can imagine book marketing and clothing marketing is two different animals.
Yeah. The book marketing though is to me it's kind of easier than doing the clothing. Like I said, the book at this point, I really can't. It's kind of hard because for me, it's easy right now because I actually came in and did it at a time to where nobody else from where I'm from is doing it. So it's kind of marketing itself just off of the excitement of, hey, he released the book. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of marketing itself. As far as the marketing to a wider group of people, Facebook, man, like just like y'all got squad creatives, as far as that stuff work wonders for people that's trying to link and actually network with people in the same field as them or people that have the same interests as them. And like that is such a blessing to people like myself, you know what I'm saying? Because like doing this, like with the book, I want to surround myself around other authors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to drop gems that I need to pick up for my process. So marketing is kind of easy because just like you got squad creatives, you got like Black author pages on Facebook and things of that nature that you could pretty much market your stuff and post it in there all day long.
Oh yeah.
Just to connect and network and stuff. And you'll be surprised how many people you will actually come in there and say that, hey, I got a 10-year-old son or I have a 5-year-old son and I'm looking for a book for him for a Black author.
Mm-hmm.
So marketing for the book is way easier than for the clothing to me.
Yeah, I can just hearing that, I can understand. Makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm trying to share this video out right now. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
So let's get to the writing process, man. Like, I just had a question. I lost my whole question. So, like, I mean, like you said, you go into your room and get your quiet, man. You like when you write, do you need your snack or certain drink, or you know how people have them little weird little quirks that they do through the process? They're just part of their process. What am I asking here? What do you need to as you go into writing? Like, so you can't do without.
I ain't gonna lie to you, my phone.
Really?
Honestly, you know, I spend 90% of the time here when I'm at home. Like I said, it's like my work area / man cave anyways. So I'm always here. Only thing I need to separate me to be able to get the work done is just a little bit of quiet. So honestly, I don't have to have a specific item or anything. I just need to close my door and let my kids have the rest of the house.
Yeah, really.
That's pretty much it.
Really.
I see you have series on the end of the title. So obviously we're looking at another book. Is there a segue at the end of this book that leads like a to be continued?
Nah. The way this book ends is pretty much him having a fear of going to school because technically it's his first time going to big boy school, and then realizing that, hey, you know how it is growing up when your mom or your dad dropping you off at school and you going in this classroom, you don't know any of the kids. Now imagine this is your first time going to an actual big boy school. So, and then you think everything cool till your mom is leaving, and that's when stuff get real. So this was just pretty much letting them know that, hey, school is not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I thought my first day was going to be bad, but it really wasn't. I met new friends. I got to do some of the things that I like. And, it turned out to be a fun day. The next book, which I'm actually scheduling to release early spring of 2022, it will be about him going into first grade. And that's kind of like more into him settling in after his first year and then taking it like kind of like getting more used to it. And it'll go on up. But I'm not going to do them all back to back because I'm also going to branch off and do Juice Baby Goes or Juice Baby Goes on a field trip, Juice Baby Goes fishing, other little things too, to kind of like be in between the series. But before it's all said and done, Juice Baby Goes to Kindergarten will be a full series that goes from kindergarten to 5th grade.
I think a cartoon may come from this. I could see this.
We were just speaking on that. That's my goal. That is my biggest goal. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I really can't see that cartoon though, man. After seeing the characters and stuff, I think it would be real dope. Needed. I think it would be needed.
Yeah.
And congratulations, too. Congratulations, man, on stepping out and now being a serial entrepreneur. That's what they like to call it. I think that was one of P's phrases, serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
So what about like you got your characters, man? What about like little action figures or anything? Is that something we can look for in the future?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm finna ride this wave all the way to the top. I'm thinking about all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to. I grew up. I'm 32. I was born in '89, so I kind of grew up in the '90s. You know, where I grew up in the '90s, not kind of, but I grew up in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? I grew up when we had all the good cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, don't hold me against it, but we had a lot of good cartoons, man. And you had that's even when TV was a whole different thing. Like you actually wanted to watch TV. Like now, I hate watching TV unless I'm watching like a documentary.
Yeah.
Like everything now is not relatable. Everything is sci-fi, so far-fetched, conspiracy theories. It's so much other than what you know what I'm saying people see on a day-to-day basis. Like, and I feel like that's what we used to get back then, even with cartoons and sitcoms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of these kids are missing today is that opportunity. So I want to be able to deliver that.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
It'd be slick to get picked up also by a school because you know the schools they hand out books like that for the kindergartners to read, to actually learn and read. So good things to come from that.
That's the thing about. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the book that is different from the clothing brand. I'm not getting into the clothing brand, but the difference is with the book, it's more beneficial to the people that will want you to come than it is for you to like. Let me see how I can put this. With a book, schools will come up to you and want you to do readings. You know, like my daughter is not in kindergarten; she's in pre-K. But when they realized that I was doing a book, they want me to come and do a live reading for them. And then they want to Zoom it to the other schools in their network.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, and I never tell them that my kids is actually in the book. That's the thing about it. Like, I don't tell anybody the book. So when they getting the book, they just thinking they getting a book until they see it and see my kid's name and see my kids. And then they like, yo, that's his son, you know, for the people that know my son and know me and stuff. But I've had my son elementary school. They want to put together a reading. The library in the city that I'm from, they're putting together a book signing and a reading event in January.
That's dope, man.
I've had people reach out from New Orleans. I've had people reach out in Atlanta wanting me to come and read to their schools. And they're actually reaching out to you because they need it just as much as I need to get to these kids and speak to them. These schools need somebody to speak to them, man.
Right.
Right. Man, that's dope, man.
It is.
Dope.
That's a whole nother avenue too. You know, like you said, with the authoring and then so eventually, you know, Walmart always got the little kids clothes and they always got the popular little kid, you know, whatever it is. I don't want to name drop any of them because I don't know if they're watching, but I could see, even though that you saying this is not your clothing brand, you coming out with a clothing line pertaining to kids because of this book. So it's like hand in hand, it works both together.
Yes. Yes. The way I'm trying to structure it and put it together, that's what I'm aiming for. That's really what I'm aiming for. But I say it time and time again, it take money to do the thing. But my overall goal is to be able to put that back into the youth in the communities. Before I even got into selling clothes and doing my clothing brand and doing the book, I used to be a football coach for my son rec team. You know, and that's something I've always did because, for one, just a little quick backstory. I was raised by my grandparents. My dad spent a lot of my young years in prison, and my mom was a single mom, and she had 4 other kids. So, she couldn't afford to really take care of me.
Right.
Things like that is stuff that can get you down and have you beating yourself up a little bit. But I handled that in a positive way, because I feel like if she wouldn't have made that decision and that choice, then I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today, So I really do appreciate her more than anything for that. But I knew how it was to be that kid that was raised by your older grandparents that's not hip to what's going on at that time, and my biggest influencer was my football coach. Like, a lot of people really don't understand, especially being a young boy, how important a coach of any aspect, any sport, how important it is to have somebody like that in your life.
Yeah.
I happen to have a football coach at 9 years old that didn't even have kids. So he looked at the football players as his kids. So he went over and beyond to make sure we got everything we needed. Some of us couldn't even afford, our parents couldn't afford for us to play, and he paid out his pocket, So when I got older, I wanted to do that, man. I wanted to be able to give back to some of these kids that don't have that parent to and like when you raised by your grandparents, you always have that question in your mind of why I don't have my parents like those kids do. Why my mom ain't here, why my dad ain't here, and things of that nature. And that plays a big part on what you decide to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? I've always been, despite how my life was, I always been an independent person. I had my first job at 14. I was working at Dairy Queen. I bought my first vehicle when I was 14.
Wow.
Myself, you know what I'm saying? And it was all about that ownership. Like, my grandparents, they were like, why you buy your own first car? We would have bought it. I said, because if I buy it myself, then what rules can y'all put on it? You know what I'm saying? It's mine. I couldn't even drive it. I was 14, but I used to go out there and sit in the car for hours and just blast the music. It's mine, man. And that's what kids, I just want to be able to teach not only my kids that, but other kids that, like, nobody, you can wait for people to give you stuff and you're going to be more disappointed than anything, or you can get out here and find a way to get it yourself. And it's all about that real ownership, something that nobody can take from you or put stipulations on,
Yeah.
I was raised by my grandparents too, so I understand. But my situation was my mother died when I was 7.
Sorry
and I didn't know my father. So it was, I understand that, like, why everybody got parents but me. Trust me, like, I didn't. Shit, I think honestly, man, I still ask myself that sometime now.
Yeah.
And at my dad, like, when I was like 19 and he wasn't shit. So, I think to this day I still ask that question, man.
Yeah, it plays a big part, man. Like, I sit and think about it all the time. Like, I try to see if I can imagine how my situation would have been if I would have stayed with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I have the best relationship with my parents now, because now that I'm grown, I'm willing and able to do what I got to do for myself. Really, I just open that door for y'all to be grandparents, man. That window as far as being the best parent ever, that closed. I'm grown. I got my own kids, but you can always be the best grandparent.
Period.
Yeah.
Let me read this to you. Terrence said, that's a blessing. I would love to get one for my granddaughter who is about to be 3, a book. I believe in starting to read to kids at one every night.
Yeah.
So if you want to shout out where she can purchase the book from, or
you can go to my my website. It's www.juicebabybookseries.com, and you can order a copy of that book, or you can actually go through Amazon. At the moment, when you type it in, for some reason it's not coming up, but it is on Amazon. I got to fix that issue. I don't know why it's not coming up, but on Amazon, you do have the option to get the ebook, or you can get a physical copy, and that will be coming directly from Amazon. And if you are a Prime member, 9 times out of 10, you'll get it within 2 days for free. Yeah, so that's another thing. Like with Amazon, it kind of gives you that resource of that shipping speed. You know what I'm saying? Because Amazon is killing it right now. Matter of fact, I work at Amazon. So Amazon is killing it right now. But that, for people that thinking about doing books, that's another thing you look at too. Amazon, the amount of time it takes for them to actually get your book printed up and sent to the customer, man, that'll get you high ratings as far as book, shipping speed and stuff.
Thank you, Shandy. She said, I'm a Prime member too. I'm a Prime. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. I'm thrown off. I'm a Prime member myself, man. That Prime member, being a Prime member does make a big difference. I didn't want to, but it makes a difference.
Yeah.
So can I type it right? JuiceBabyBookSeries.com?
Yes, that's right. Juice Baby Book Series.
That's where you can purchase the book. How much are the books?
Right now they are the original price is $14.99 on the website. But I will drop this on them. I have to see why it's not showing up on Amazon. But if you go to Amazon right now, the book is on sale on Amazon for $6.43, I believe.
Oh shoot, that's a steal! Y'all better head over there now.
Yeah, so yeah.
Sarah said I'm a Prime member, but I think I order from you directly. Show that love.
Well, I appreciate that.
With her saying that, is there any other platforms that you're using to get the book out? I know Amazon is a huge one.
I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about doing is, like I said, I'm self-publishing. So my angle that I'm taking is more of getting the physical copies myself and actually sending them. Like when you order from my website, you are getting it straight from me. You know what I'm saying? So these are my physical copies that I have on hand that I'm shipping out. Amazon kind of gives you that faster shipping. Which even with me, when you order with me, it normally ships out within 3 to 5 days. So you would receive it within a week or so. But yeah, Amazon, it kind of makes it easier on the author. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can publish a book on Amazon right now and not even worry about getting physical copies and just sell strictly from Amazon and collect your royalties.
Oh, it's on there right now.
It would be a little bit smaller though, wouldn't it, if you just did that? Like your bottom line would be a little bit smaller.
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the difference that I try to get people to understand. You're going to spend, and when I say when you're doing the physical copies yourself, don't think of a big price jump. Think there it
is, right there.
Yeah. So if you pull up my artist page, it'll come up, I believe.
Yeah, Dejon Brown. I found it under that.
Yeah. But yeah, like it just makes it easier for you to be able to get your book out to people without having to do the waiting on physical copies and stuff like that to come in. But if you want to really make your profit, I would prefer you order your own copies and then maybe make your own website to sell it on that. Or if you want to take it to another platform like me, I like doing pop-up shops.
Yeah.
This is something great, order you about 20, 30, 40, 50 copies and then go to your pop-up shop and I guarantee you'll probably sell all or close to it.
You see Nicole Friesen said, thank you. I just ordered 3 on Amazon.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Taryn asks, do you sign the copies directly from you?
When you order them from my site, I do sign the copies directly from me. Now, if you order them on Amazon, that will not be a signed copy. That will be coming strictly from Amazon. And I will say this, because with me not getting my full copies, and I just want to throw this out there, with you not ordering through me and getting my physical copies, if you get a copy that comes in and it's messed up in any kind of way, anyway, Amazon covers that. You return it back to Amazon and they will either refund you or send you out another book. If that do happen and you don't want to go through that channel, you can reach out to me personally and I will make sure you get a better copy of that book, because when they come through me, I'm able to check them all before they go out. With Amazon, they just sends them straight out.
Mm-hmm. Nicole said, "Oh wait, should I order directly from you?"
Honestly, it's up to you. It's either one is very greatly appreciated, but I just wanted to let you know that much. If you do get a copy and something is wrong with it from the shipping or anything, you are covered through Amazon.
But if you order from him, you get it signed. So
yeah,
you know.
And for them illustrations, it look like he about to be in New York's best sellers. So
that would be awesome, man.
Tap in.
Yeah, the illustrations is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the illustrations, man. I'm excited about the next one.
I know you said it's not about money, and you did put a lot into it. How long does it take before Amazon kick you back a check for the books that you sold through them?
Truth be told, I don't know. The 3 copies that she just ordered is the first I've got through Amazon. I've mainly been pushing it through my website. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's the avenue I decided to take. You know what I'm saying? It is available on Amazon, but I push heavy through my website.
She said, "I want mine signed. I'm gonna order from you."
Okay, that'll be great.
Shandy Cheek. I'm gonna get that shit. Shandy said, "Cancel Nicole, LOL." The Educated Natural said the illustrations are phenomenal. Yeah, they are.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they are.
And honestly, that's another thing. You do have another option with the illustration, because like before I went and outsourced an illustrator, I'm all big about like I have talented people around me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a cousin right now, man. He is a man, like, dude is crazy when it comes to drawing, and he uses an iPad. And I mean, he's crazy with it. I have an uncle that draws very well. And I went to them and I told them how much I'm getting quoted to do illustrations. And I told them, I said, look, I'm pushing this book. I want to offer you that opportunity to make this money before I outsource it. You know what I'm saying? It's no hard feelings if you decide not to. I mean, but at the same time, I want to offer that, because how dope would it be to have my cousin illustrate my book versus having to outsource somebody.
Some random,
yeah. So
he said your site isn't coming up. I got it pulled up over here on my computer. So let's try typing it again, maybe.
Let me see.
Oh, you sell backpacks of it? Is that a backpack? Or am I tripping?
It's a drawstring bag.
Okay, yeah.
And then
that'd be a good thing too. A little bundle deal right there. Drawstring bag, book, and the shirt.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking into doing puzzles. That's where the sublimation comes in at, man.
Yeah.
That's where the sublimation comes in. And like, honestly, I wouldn't even know how to market this book the way I want to if it wasn't for what I've learned from doing the clothing brand and doing the sublimation and stuff like that.
Right.
I kind of feel bad because I have a sublimation printer over here, man, and I had to clean it last week because I haven't used it in over 3 months, I believe. My Cricut, not my Cricut, but my Silhouette, I haven't even used it in over like 5 months because I've been kind of locked into this book. But everything kind of ties in, and that's the thing. Like, it makes it so much easier for you to market yourself the way you want to, because you got all the tools you need to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And it saves you money. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go out here and get somebody to make me custom puzzles. I can do them myself. I have all the equipment right here, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She got it.
Yeah.
Found it. So that's dope, man. Like, yeah, I'm glad we got to talk to you about this, though. I remember on Facebook, I seen you posted. As soon as I seen it, I had to share it out, man. So
I appreciate that love, man.
Yeah, it's really dope.
Yeah.
So you got the book going and you got your clothes going, man. That's two different entities altogether. Eventually you're gonna have to, I don't want to say choose, but delegate who's gonna do what or how it's gonna be ran. Any plans on how it is that you're gonna do that?
Nah, honestly, that's the hardest part about it. That's my biggest challenge of it all. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, honestly, that's like putting your newborn baby in a stranger's hand and saying, hey, man, I feed her at this time. When she cry or he cry, I hold her this way. Like, you put in, and when you the CEO, once again, when you're the one that's trying to get the business off the ground, you have everything to lose. And I think that's the hardest part. And that's what I tell people a lot of time. That's the hardest part of growing a business, because you got to play every role in the beginning, every role.
Yeah.
Until you can get your structure built to where you can delegate the certain responsibilities to people and actually be able to hold them accountable. I don't really, my fiance, she sits here and she give me ideas, and she's learning the process as I'm figuring it out. But at the same time, I don't want to kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like, overwhelm her by just saying, hey, well, I'm locked in on the book right now. Let me throw everything with Juice Baby Apparel on you. It's kind of hard. So, you know.
So how instrumental is she overall, though?
Say that again.
How instrumental is she overall? Does she help a lot, or she has no interest in what you do over there?
Oh yeah, she love it. I mean, my girlfriend, she supports me 110%. Her thing is she just trying to figure out what her place is in the situation, because I am pushing it as far as a family business. You know what I'm saying? But some days she don't understand certain moves that I have to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, while I'm building the brand or I'm building the business, I also got to build people interest into who I am.
Period.
I'm the one actually building it. You know what I'm saying? So people, if they don't find interest in you, they're not gonna find interest in anything you trying to bring to them. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it comes to the book, I haven't introduced myself yet. You know what I'm saying? Because if I introduce myself in this book, it'll make it all about me, the person that's writing the book, versus the people that I really want it to be about. You know what I'm saying? So later on, once it catch the traction that I wanted to catch with them, then I can introduce myself. You know, so it's just pretty much waiting a certain, like, trying to play the cards right. But yeah, she don't know how to do the actual hands-on work like I do.
Yeah.
But she is learning the process of what I do between the clothing brand and the book. And me and Sam, we're mentoring her, and we also trying to line her up so she can do her own thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, though. Yeah, it's good to have somebody that has interest in what you do.
Yeah, it is. It's a blessing, man. That's what makes it easy.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing. I'm a full-time father. I work a full-time job, and I'm trying to run two businesses. The most expensive thing that I could say in my situation right now is my time. You know what I'm saying? Like a minute of my time to me is worth $1 million alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many people that deserve that time that I have, but it's also things that I'm trying to accomplish. But so in between that, any spare time I have, I try to spend that with them.
Right. Well, Dejon, man, amazing accomplishment, brother. Writing that book, it, like you said, we don't see people often that, especially as young, and as dedicated as it seems that you are to this book. We don't see that a lot often. I mean, we hear about people writing books about their life stories and things like that, but never like how you did it. And
right.
This is something that your children, I mean, they may not notice it right now, but when they get older, they're gonna be like, my dad wrote a book and we was in it. The whole family was in the book.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's slowly starting to happen for them though, man. Like I said, they get people coming up and saying something all the time. Honestly, I'm having to adjust myself because I'm a very private person, and I'm not too much of a outgoing person, like, you know what I'm saying? So I have to get kind of used to people rolling up on me and be like, hey, yo, I like your book, or I need a copy of that book, man. And the love and support that I've gotten from that book itself, man, it's like night and day compared to the clothing. You know what I'm saying? So that $2,000 that I probably spent into making this book happen, making this book happen, man, I've gotten that back just in love itself. I've spent 2-3 times that on the clothing brand, man. And so, this right here, this investment, this is something you're gonna get love and you're gonna get the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win.
So we're gonna hop into rapid fire.
All right.
And I know you remember this from last time. It's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna ask you two. C's gonna ask you two random questions. So now this might be a little bit. You might be on the fence with it. Writing books or making clothes. You get to choose one.
Writing books.
So what's Nike or Jordan?
I'm a Nike guy. I'm a Nike guy, man. I love Jordans. I like looking at them, but I'm a Nike guy, man. I'm not too fond of spending those $300-400 for those shoes.
Yeah. Not none that don't walk themselves. Hell.
Thank you, man. Like my dad used to tell me, he said you could buy a $500 pair of Versace jeans, man. As soon as you put them on your ass, the value is yard sale.
Period. So 5 years from now, what do you want people to say about you?
Honestly, 5 years from now, man, I know what they gonna say about me. You know what I'm saying? 5 years from now, I like to hear what they say about my kids. Cause that's what, you know what I'm saying? My overall goal is to set them up to by the time they come out of high school, their life is already taken off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can preach to them about creating their own opportunities, or I can take the time that I have and start it for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, my son is an artistic guy, so like he liked to draw. He liked to draw and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of like is something that's going to spark his interest to where he would, find passion in it and keep it going. 5 years from now, I just want people to know that, I work my butt off every day to have something of my own.
Yeah, man. My second question will be, I lost it. I'm gonna be simple, man, because I lost the question I had. Man, what's your favorite food? It was out of Mike P's book.
Pizza. My kids call me a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, yeah.
I just ate pizza tonight, man. I'm a pizza guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Bro, it's an honor, man, to have you come on and tell us about, your journey as far as the writing process.
Yes, sir.
Just want to salute you on your journey, man.
Yes, sir,
Hey,
man.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's always a good time, man.
Yeah. Hey, make sure y'all tap in December 21st. We're having a Christmas blast. We're gonna be giving away all types of gifts. Show start as regular at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And y'all need to share it. Tell a friend, tell an auntie, a sister, a cousin, everybody. Let everybody know. December 21st, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Grand prize is a heat press, 15 by 15 heat press.
Oh,
We got heat presses. We got gift certificates to certain clothing. We got gift certificates to Super Color. We got gift certificates to Econo Transfer. We got gift certificates to Cosmos Inc. And a bunch of other stuff. So y'all tap in, tell a friend to tell a friend, And only requirement we ask is that you are subscribed to the channel to enter. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
And before we go, I want to read this. Nicole said she placed my order, one for my grandson, one for my niece, and one for my nephew. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Nicole. And can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Juice Baby Book Series. I love, if you get a copy of the book, if you want to put up a video, or you want to put up a photo of the book, or just anything like that. 2022 is going to be all about giving back. So, I'm going to be doing different things to where I can actually give back to my supporters. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff too is going to be more towards giving back to the kids. So a lot of the stuff I do decide to give away is probably going to be stuff that your kid would like if you have a kid, or if you know a kid that would like it and stuff. But I just want to give back. So 2022 is going to be big for that, especially on the Juice Baby book series side.
Right on. That's dope. Again, brother, what's the IG name again?
Juice Baby Book Series.
It's right up there, like you can see it under his name. Same thing.
Same thing on Facebook.
Before we sign out, brother, thank you again, man. I'm glad to talk to the author. I missed the interview with the clothing brand because I was on the road, but appreciate you for coming out with us, man. And
thank y'all for having me, man.
When the next book drop, we're gonna be back at it. So
yes, sir.
That.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all Tuesday.
That to this said at work. I've been listening. Order the book. Keep up the great work, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Tuesday. Who do we have Tuesday? I gotta look at my calendar and announce this right here because I don't know.
Awesome show, Mike and C. Congrats, Dejon, on the book. Kid series. A planned purchasing tomorrow.
Thank you. Love is real, man. I appreciate it. And hey, let me tell y'all guys, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Man, thank you.
What you're doing, bro. I'm telling you that this right here is something major. This is something major, man. Just keep it up. And y'all got a lot of people depending on y'all, man.
Right on. Appreciate you. All right. We will see y'all Tuesday.